Well, hello. Today I am so excited. I am here with one of my favorite clients. Her name is Christy, and she has been with me for almost 2 months. And we're going to talk today about pre-diabetes because it's such a concern for a lot of people. And Christy has an amazing success story about her pre-diabetic condition and how she is no longer on medication and blah blah blah. So we're going to get into that. Hi, Christy.
Hello.
Thank you for coming and talking to me today. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to share my story. It's been
Oh,
amazing.
yay! So first, just to give somebody a little bit of history on you, can you tell us when you were diagnosed with pre-diabetes or with diabetes?
Sure, I have for years been kind of on that borderline, but in January of 2017, I was diagnosed.
And what did you feel when you were diagnosed? How did that make you feel?
I was upset, scared. Diabetes has run in my family. My mom actually passed away from complications of diabetes. So I did not want to go down that path.
Yeah.
And so I was scared, but yet I didn't really know what to do.
Right. When you were diagnosed and all that fear set in, were you having any issues? Or was this kind of like came on suddenly, or were you having some symptoms, or what were some of your symptoms you were having?
Well, funny, I probably didn't realize I was having some symptoms until after I got on meds.
Ah,
Because then, my sugar came back down. But here I was drinking excessive amounts of water.
hmm.
Um, I just had different aches and pains, but I also was having some blurriness in my vision, and I haven't been told that's what it was, but I'm kind of guessing because once I got on the meds, that did disappear
Yeah,
as my sugars came down.
yeah.
So I am here today with Dee Dee. She's one of my favorite people in the entire world. And I'm going to talk with Dee Dee today because Dee Dee has a very, actually it's more common than what we like it to be, but she has a very common disease, is that they call it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a disease. And she has type 1 diabetes. And I want to talk to Dee Dee today about the type 1 diabetes because what we've been able to do through some coaching and through some dietary changes is able to help her manage her diabetes. So I first want to just ask you, Dee Dee, when were you diagnosed with diabetes and what was the onset of that diagnosis?
I was 29, and all of a sudden I was having unquenchable thirst and having to go to the bathroom really frequently. And so eventually, after going to the store and buying about 6 types of liquids, I realized that I probably should go to the doctor. And so I went to the doctor and immediately was hospitalized, and they diagnosed
They actually
me
put
with
you in the
diabetes.
hospital,
Yep.
huh?
I spent about 4 days in the hospital,
Yeah.
and they did the nutrition with me all in the
Yeah.
hospital. I think they probably do it different now.
Yeah.
Because that was a couple of years ago.
Was that pretty scary for you? I mean,
Yes, it was very
yeah.
scary because they show you everything and then they release you and you
You're
are
on
on
your
your
own.
own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after you were diagnosed and you went home, what were some of the major struggles that you had after you were diagnosed? What was some of the major struggles or problems that you were having in dealing with this new diagnosis?
I think the hardest thing was knowing how much to compensate, how much insulin to take in relation to my blood sugar. So when you're diagnosed or when you're a diabetic, they give you, take this many units in the morning, at noon, etc. But then there's a sliding scale, so you have to take so much
Right.
per extra number. And so it depends on your body how many units to take based on that number. So it's really, you have to figure out, it takes a long time for you to adapt to, and your body to adapt to the insulin. And
Yeah. And what were some of the consequences of that? What did you struggle with when you were trying to learn the amounts and all of that? How did you feel? What were some of the situations that happened, that occurred, that were frustrating?
Well, when you're going through that period, and you still go through it all these years later sometimes, you counteract your low with too much food, and then you're extremely high, and then you are low, and you're high, and you're low. So,
Hello everybody, today I am here with Julia, the very beautiful Julia, and today we're talking diabetes. I know for some of you when I say that word diabetes, you're like, uh-oh, what's that mean, or what's that all about? That's scary. Well, I want to just share with you today, and I'm talking to Julia because Julia does have diabetes, and she's had extreme success in managing her diabetes, and I want to share it with you, and we want to talk about how she has done that. So hi Julia.
Hello.
Thank you, beautiful.
Everybody.
Yeah. So first, just tell us when you were diagnosed.
I was diagnosed when I was 12. It was actually
Oh.
Christmas Eve.
Really?
It was kind of a dramatic scene, but yeah.
Wow.
You know, for a couple weeks I'd been getting really thirsty and tired and dropping weight, which is actually one of the signs of high blood sugar at a constant rate. And so, you know, my mom actually brought up, because she's got a sister who's type 1 diabetic, and she, you know, told my dad and I, well, maybe you have diabetes, and we laughed at her. We legitimately laughed at her, and then Christmas Eve rolled around, and there I was in the ER, and
Was that pretty scary? I mean,
I mean,
and this was back, what, 20? Well, how old are you? 20? How old are you?
I'll be 30 this
So
year.
20, almost 18 years
Yeah,
ago.
so
back 18 years ago, did they even really have a lot of knowledge in diabetes?
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
they had made major strides. I mean, I've talked to my aunt who was diagnosed in the 70s, and she had to go to the doctor to get her blood sugar tested.
Oh, see,
So I
they've
mean,
come a
there
long
had
way.
been huge strides. You know,
Yeah.
when I was diagnosed in the early 2000s, and I was fortunate. I was a athlete at the time. I was competitive gymnast, so I was already kind of in a disciplined and
Yeah.
regimented lifestyle. So I think that helped me a lot. I mean, I
Yeah.
got the gravity of it
Yeah.
from a very early age. But I also had a really cool doctor who understood that I was 12, and you're going to have pizza parties with your friends, and you're going to have ice cream, and you're going to be a normal kid, but we'll just teach you how to balance that. But in my adulthood, you know, the pounds packed on a little bit. I mean, I've never been overweight per se, but as a natural athlete, I knew I wasn't where I wanted to be.
Was that frustrating for you, knowing that you were an athlete, and were you ever wondering, like, why am I gaining so much weight? Why can't I get this weight off? I know that's when you came to me.
Absolutely.
Is that kind of what was going on? Is you were just like, why isn't my body responding?
Yep, and I knew I was definitely, you know, drinking more wine each night than I probably should have been, and you know, I was masking some other things going on, and I was just ready to refocus into that healthier lifestyle.
Yeah, so
Because I knew I was covering, with type 1 diabetes, you just cover everything that you eat with insulin in terms of carbs and sugar. So I was just packing it on. I wasn't really paying attention to what I was putting.
So when you went on the meds, that was really your only option that they gave you at the time, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So what struggles have you had with being a pre-diabetic besides the symptoms that you just told me about? What are some of the other struggles that you've had, and why did you reach out to me?
Well, I've been following you for a long time. Your groups that you've done work with, and as I've was trying to figure out what I should be doing, my doctor did refer me to a couple of different websites. One was very helpful with some menus or some good options, but you know, basically I was told go on a keto diet, and it was difficult to try it. I mean, I tried, but you didn't know if you were doing it right. There was no coaching. So I brought my numbers down fairly quickly from when I was originally diagnosed in January to May. It dropped 6 points. I did work hard at trying to do the keto diet and trying to lose some weight, added some walking in, but I have felt lost. I didn't have anyone to help coach. That's really what I needed. And, you know, fortunate, I follow you and have known a couple of people that have went through, and it was great because I happened to see your advertisement for your 8-week program and listen to you on a video call, and just knew that you were where I needed to go.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did. So when you were reaching out, was your motivation to try to heal your diabetes, or were you motivated to lose weight, or you just, I know you said you just, this other website you went to, there was no coaching. I totally get that. That's why I have this program, because it's really hard to do it on your own. And yes, and don't get me started on the keto diet, because that's a, don't even get me started, but because we know that that will never last long term. So talk to us about kind of what did you want to achieve by working with me? Was it the weight loss? Was it to get off diabetic medication? Was it to, just get the coaching? What was it that really appealed to you?
Yep. So first and foremost, my main goal was I wanted to get off metformin. Did not want to be on meds. Never have been much of a med taker unless I've absolutely had to be. So I've had some, what I think were probably maybe a little side effects from metformin. Also, in my relationship, kind of lost the sexy and everything, and wanted to feel good about myself. I just remember watching your one video and saying, that is me. Just everything that you had said. And so I wanted, again, to take control of my life. I've lost, throughout my journey, I've lost that control, and I've, gained weight, and really I'm unhealthy. And so just through the process of trying to figure out what I need to do, I've also realized that it's not just about getting off metformin, but it's also becoming healthy, living a healthy life, and really making good choices about that and about everything around me.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about your results, shall we?
Yes.
So,
one of the things that helped me at BeFit is the whole premise is keeping your blood sugar level, which is what I'm ultimately trying to do anyways. So that was very helpful for me.
So when you learned about my program, there was a reason why you came to my program. What was that?
Actually, I came to the program because I wanted to help my daughter. My daughter was going to be leaving for in a year for college, and I wanted to get her nutrition under control before I had no control over it.
Yeah, you came and you had a broken foot, I remember.
I did, and I had no intention.
And then she told me she had diabetes. I'm like, ooh, girl.
So I came here just expecting to fix my daughter, and I did the food program just so I could cook for her. And then when my foot was healed, my daughter expected me to do the program completely, and so I did, just so I wouldn't look bad. But I actually ended up loving it, and then coming 5 days a week. And
What was key for you for the nutrition? Because you lost a lot of weight, and you shared with me that you were not able to do that originally.
Right. So the biggest thing was that the food I was able to. I'm a competitive person, so I like to find things that I love to eat, so I'm not feeling deprived. And so that was a big thing. And I also learned that I could counteract my lows with other things than sugary, high glucose items.
Yeah, because I know a lot of clients that I get that have diabetes type 1 or type 2, their main complaint is they just have a terrible time with losing body fat. And you had that situation too. And I'm going to show you a before and after picture of her at her photo shoot. She's stunning. And I think it was 40 pounds?
Oh, it was about 70 pounds, actually.
70? Wow, that's crazy
If you
good.
count the
Yeah.
just the fat,
Yeah.
the fat pounds.
I said, was it that much? How come
yeah.
I was thinking it was 40 or 50, but 70, yeah.
Well, and I had lost some before I came
Yeah,
here.
but here I think it was 40.
Yeah,
40,
it was probably 40
something
or
like that.
or
Well,
any-
I'll look it up and share it. But I think for you, because you are so committed to your health, a lot of people, they're scared when they have diabetes, and it's very scary. But what we try to do here is really educate the diabetic person so that they can manage their diabetes versus being scared of it, because a lot of women, I think, especially you too, you can share this, but they're scared and they don't know, they just kind of give up because they're like, well, I've tried to lose weight for whatever, and I just can't seem to do it, so what's the point kind of deal. So maybe share with them kind of how this program was able to help you in that situation, just be able to manage your blood sugar, because that's really what it is managing the blood sugar, because it's not taught by doctors. It's just not. And so what was it that made you decide to finally, like, you know what, I'm going to learn how to manage my diet, or I'm going to learn how to manage this better? What was it that made you come here and do that?
I think I just wanted more energy, and I wanted to feel like I looked cute in my clothes again. I was kind of just feeling a little bit frumpy, and so I just wanted that goal. I'm very goal oriented.
You are very goal oriented. Yeah.
So I was just looking for that next accomplishment.
And you were so successful. You ended up doing a show which got you down to, I won't say how much because you're super lean, but it just goes to show you that when you know how to manage your diabetes with nutrition, that your body will work for you instead of against you. And I think that you did an amazing job at just following that, listening to your body, following the protocol, and you did a show, and that was a great experience for you, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, it was super liberating, and the reason I did it was because I'm diabetic. I use that as an advocacy tool, and I kind of followed a couple bikini competitors from around the Midwest, and so we kind of formed a little network there, and so I had people to bounce off, but it's not common. I mean, it's not common for type 1 diabetics to compete. I mean, even for somebody without that autoimmune deficiency, it's stressing your body. So
can you talk to people who are diabetic and who are maybe frustrated or wondering what they can do, and can you give them some advice or some tips about their nutrition and or even maybe working out? Because I think a lot of diabetics are kind of afraid to work out or don't have the energy to work out. So
well, I'll tell you that it gives you energy. It's hard to start that routine, but that's where your energy will come from, is not letting, if you do make poor choices with the diet area that day, don't let that just sit there and fester. Go and burn some of it off, and you'll feel like $1 million afterward. You never regret a workout.
how has BeFit helped you with your journey in diabetes?
Just educating me on what food does. It really clicked for me when, I know things have changed a little bit, but just kind of balancing your carb intake with your protein intake, that blew my mind. I would have never even thought of that, because those two types of foods help break each other down, and it's less work for your insulin. So I mean, just slashed my insulin intake, and since that insulin is fat storing, there went the pounds. It just it all kind of snowballed. It just blew my mind, and it made, once it clicked, it made so much sense, and
And it's something now you take with you and you can continue to apply in every day of your life. And now she just comes here because she wants to work and have fun with the girls, right?
Yes, I'm addicted. Can't get rid of me.
I just want to share, and this happened in only 4 weeks, everybody. This is what we did in 4 weeks as a pre-diabetic on metformin. She was able to get off of metformin in 4 weeks. Was it 4 or 3? 4, wasn't it?
4 weeks, yeah.
Completely off her meds in 4 weeks. In addition to being off her meds, she lost 9 pounds of fat and gained 2 pounds of lean, which is what we want, and lost 11 inches. That's in 4 weeks. So how does that make you feel, Christy? Were you just blown away at that?
Oh, I was. I couldn't wait, to get home and to share that with my fiance, the success, because it is really a team effort. I mean, I know it's me, but also it's been great that he's been here to be able to support me and also encourage me. And he's made a commitment to me about his health even over the last week, because he has seen the change in me. And yeah, it was amazing. And I feel so good. I have energy. And I'm learning that even though stressful things come up, again, it's how we view them and how to handle it different, that doesn't mean that I have to eat my way to happiness. I am eating my way to happiness, but just in a different way.
Different way, right?
So, right? And so I just want to continue that health journey.
And here's what I'm so proud of you with, is that you took the time to say, you know what, I am going to get my power back, and I know I can heal my body, because there's not a lot of people that are comfortable and believing in themselves to be able to do that. And you got off of metformin and medication, and look at the results you got in only 4 weeks. And you're not done. We still haven't done your next 4-week check-in here. So just amazing work. You did an amazing job. And this is what frustrates me. I'm going to get a little bit on my little lecture here, but I get so frustrated with people who listen to physicians who always say that they have to go on medications when they have type 2 diabetes. It's 100% not true, because you can reverse your type 2 diabetes with proper nutrition, exercise, and the right protocol. And I have, within this program, 100% success rate in doing that. I've been able to get every person that's come to me with type 2 diabetes, get them off medication. And you're just one person that has been able to, share her story. And I'm so proud of you, because like I said, not everybody can do it, but they can if they make the decision, right, Christy? I mean, if you truly make the decision that you can do it, and you just follow your heart and follow the protocol, and you have faith and you do the work, I just think anybody can do it if they make the commitment. Was it that hard? I mean, honestly?
No, I mean, once I had someone there to help walk me through, and when you explained from our first lesson, when you explained, in detail about what you're eating and the hormones and just everything that you go through, it made sense. And once it started to make sense and you were there to help walk me through it, and because I was ready, I was soaking in that information. And then, as you say, research and read. And so I was, and I looked at supplements, I just went through everything, and I found it interesting. And the more knowledge I got, and yeah, there's days where it is difficult. Everyone has them. But for the most part, you have the support, you have the knowledge, you have the information. And if you're ready to make that change and make that commitment, you can do it.
Yes, and you did do it. And your results prove that you just did the work. And now you've set yourself up for success for the rest of your life. You will never have to ever, 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 ever go back on medication.
And how that was able to get you to your 70-pound weight loss.
So
It's crazy good.
Really, the nutrition that you teach us is very low sugar, which is what we would want as a diabetic, and it's healthy carbs and high protein. So the protein is what keeps your blood sugar level. So it's very close to what we're taught. But I think a lot of the problems with a diabetic is we react to the low and grab something high sugar, and then that makes it very difficult to lose the fat. You learn to take other types of things
Yeah.
that aren't high fat.
Yeah.
And you counteract the lows.
Yeah, and I think an aha moment, and I don't want to speak for you, Dee Dee, but I remember you specifically, you were like, aha. An aha moment for you was when I shared with you that as a diabetic, you're injecting insulin. That's what you have to do as a diabetic. Our bodies naturally have to produce some insulin when our blood sugar is high. But insulin is very fat storing. That's its job. It's its job to store fat. So when a diabetic has to inject insulin, we have to. The whole key for us was to allow your body not to have to inject so much insulin. So once we were able to decrease the amount of insulin she had to inject, that's when the magic happened, right?
Right. So you teach us that when your body is at the right blood sugar, you produce glucagon, which burns fat. And I was here for an embarrassingly long time before the light bulb went on that I actually had control over my blood sugar.
Yes.
And that, other people, their body is producing the insulin on its own. Well, if I'm taking less insulin, it's not storing fat and I can burn more efficiently. And so I realized that it was a little bit more in my control than I thought.
I remember the specific time she was like, aha. I was sitting across from her and she was like, her eyes got as big as golf balls, and it's just like, hit her. And here's the point, is it takes somebody 9 times to hear something before they get it. So, and that's just the way our brains work. So anytime you're learning a new program or anytime you're trying to, learn a new way of eating or whatever, you need to hear something and do something 9 times. So I think maybe that was the 9th time you heard it.
Well, and also I realized that before you're diagnosed, you're eating a ton because your blood sugar is so high, you're starving, and you're burning fat. And they told me it's the only time you will ever burn fat without doing anything. And that's when I was sitting in front of you and I thought, glucagon burns fat.
Yes.
So that's when
it's
I
an
had
aha
the aha moment.
Yeah. What would be your advice to somebody who, because what we're trying to do is just really get the word out to help people who are struggling with diabetes, because I understand a lot of my clients have diabetes, type 1 and type 2. By the way, Julia's type 1, but I have a lot of pre-diabetic clients too. So just trying to get the word out to let women know that they don't have to struggle. They can come to a place that has other diabetics in the program that can help and encourage them, because it's a scary thing to go through alone, don't you think? So what advice would you give them if you had to give them some advice?
Just open your mind to it. You can't knock anything till you try it, so it's just opening your mind to that educational process of learning about what different kinds of carbs are, because as a type 1 diabetic, I just looked at the grams of carbohydrates. I didn't get taught about what a complex carb was necessarily versus a whole, like a sweet potato or that kind of thing. Or the simple carbs is what I meant to say. Simple versus complex versus this, and how those things are different in your bloodstream. So,
and have somebody help you and kind of coach you through that. Was that helpful too? No, because sometimes you just are like, oh, what do I do?
Yep. Yeah. So I've gathered those tools from you, and I don't buy anything. I don't eat anything until I read the label. I'm like, people are like, what are you taking so long at the grocery store for? I was like, because I can't get this. And I mean, so even if it says organic or whatever, there's still a bunch of stuff, but it gets easy. Once it clicks, it clicks. That's what I will say. Like, don't be overwhelmed, because in the end, it makes things simpler for you, and you'll feel so much better. And I can't even. Yeah,
I saw a huge shift in you when you started feeling better. And you start feeling better because you have your blood sugar under control. It makes a huge difference in every area of your life, and I saw a huge shift in you. So that's why we're interviewing you today, because you were just like the protege diabetic client. So thank you, Julia.
Yeah,
any last minute words you want to say?
Don't get frustrated. Your blood sugars are still going to swing a little bit. That was one of the struggles I had when, especially prepping for comp, was the low blood sugars. But just come prepared. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give
I love
up.
that. And just start, take the plunge and take control, you know? It's like I think a lot of people get scared because they're like, I don't know what I should do, and but just take the plunge and take control of your health. Once you start to take control and feel better,
Yes.
and you find somebody that can help you with that, there's no looking back after that.
You'll never regret it.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks.
Thank y'all.
You're awesome. Bye.
Isn't that just an amazing statement to be able to say, I don't have diabetes anymore?
Yeah.
I do not have type 2 diabetes. I will never have to go on medication ever again because I know how to treat my body in order to be able to have that result. Isn't that amazing?
It is. And, you know, I think we've all probably heard it before. Your body is your temple. And, you know, you need to treat it that way. And unfortunately, I'm not alone. I think a lot of us over the years have probably not treated our bodies as such. But when you do, you feel amazing. You're not having to take meds, and that just, you know, it's a freeing, you know, you just feel free.
Yeah.
You know?
You're empowered.
That's the word.
Took your power back by not letting somebody else, either a physician or a doctor, or even the disease itself, take control of you. You took that control. So I am so proud of you. You did such an amazing job. Any last minute or last comments you'd like to make? Anybody that you want to, can you give some advice to anybody that is thinking about, you know, taking the step to reverse their diabetes and is just struggling? Is there any advice you can give them on what they can do to, you know, get up the nerve to come and talk to me and get on this program?
Yeah. Just really put your faith into Terry. She understands the body. She understands the foods, and she can help you. She will coach you and walk you through the times. And, you know, give yourself a chance and believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard sometimes, and especially, you know, a lot of us probably didn't have a lot of belief in ourselves, had low self-esteem, because that's why we are where we're at.
Right. But
turn it around, take that chance, because I can guarantee you will feel 100% better, 1,000 times better if you take that chance, take that step. You will not regret it.
Perfectly said, girl. You're amazing. Thank you so much for all those nice plugs. But again, I'm just proud of you. You did it. I just gave you the tools and you did the work, and I'm so proud of you. And just anybody who is on the fence right now and struggling and just feels like they don't know what to do, please just reach out to me. I would love to have a conversation with you about how you can start your journey to health and longevity. And wouldn't it be nice to be able to make that statement that Christy made about not ever having to worry about going back on medication and not having to gain weight back? I mean, that's an amazing statement and so empowering. So great job, Christy. Thank you so much. And hopefully we'll talk to you guys soon. Give me a call. My information is right there. So give me a call. Okay. Bye.
So one last question, Dee Dee, is if you were to, you know, talk to fellow diabetic people out there in the community and say, give them some advice, what would you give them? What would you tell them?
I would tell them to give this program a try, not just for health purposes, but for the ability to maintain your diabetes without really changing a whole lot of what you're doing. Some minor tweaks and you'll have some major changes. And I was down to taking so little insulin, it made a huge difference in how I felt, in how my body reacted. The exercise gave me more strength and muscle, and it was just life-changing.
Yeah, so I want to encourage all of you, anybody out there who has, you know, type 1 or type 2, and you're struggling right now with the inability to lose weight, or you're tired all the time, or you're just stressed out all the time, you don't have the energy to exercise, you want to meet Dee Dee because she's a bundle of fun, and you want to have some help. I can help you with putting together a holistic optimal health program for you to be able to manage your diabetes. And for type 2, honestly, type 2 diabetics, we have a program here that will get you off of insulin and metformin if you're a type 2. So I encourage you to give us a call today. We would love to have you a part of our team, right? And also, last thing I'll say is Dee Dee, she actually hosts a cooking class here. And so if you want to be a part of that, then you need to give us a call, and you can be a part of the cooking classes and the workouts and the coaching. It's an amazing opportunity for you to finally, once and for all, be able to manage your disease and not let it take control of you. So thank you, Dee Dee, so much.
No problem.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.